This video is going to go over the statistics and probability rise review paper. So I'm going to get started. First question. Oops. Okay, so the first question says, is how tall are most people in your class a statistical question? Explain your answer below. So I would say, yes, that is a statistical question. A statistical question is when you get variability in your answers or more than one answer. So each person will be a different height. So yes, that would be a statistical question. And you can explain that. It would not be a statistical question if it just said, how tall is this specific person in your class? Then that would just give you one answer, and then that would not be one. Okay, but since you get multiple answers, that gives you variability, it is. Then, so make sure you explain. 2, using the dot plot, how many students are in the class? So you count how many X's there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 students in the class. Next one, use the data for questions 3 through 7. So we have, this is our data right here. It's already ordered from least to greatest. So that helps it be quicker for us. Make sure it's ordered from least to greatest. First, let's calculate the mean. Mean, you add up all the numbers and then divide by how many numbers there are. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So I'm going to make sure once I add up all the numbers, I divide by 7. So you can use your calculator. We're doing 15 plus 18 plus 18 plus 18 plus 20 plus 23 plus 56, which should give us 168. And then we do 168 divided by 7, which gives us 24. So our mean is 24. Next question. It says, identify the mode. The mode is the number that happens most often. So the one that happens most often is 18, because 18 is repeated 3 times. No other number is repeated the same number of times or more. So 18 is our mode. 5, what is the median? The median is the middle number. So let's find the middle number. Median is the middle. So I'm going to go in the middle, 1, 2, 3, and our middle number is 18. So the median is also 18. What is the range? Range is the biggest number minus the smallest number. So we have the biggest number, 56, minus 15. 56 minus 15, which gives us 41 as our range. So that's the front side. Turn to the back side. Oops. Yeah. Okay, so the next one says use the table, create a dot plot to display the data. So our numbers, it says books read and number of students. Our books read go from 0 to 4. So on my number line, I'm going to go do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And for each data set, I'm going to either put a dot or sometimes people put an X. So there's 0 at 0, so I don't put any. There should be 5 over 1. So I'm going to put 5 dots. There's 4 at 2, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 at 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's 1 at 4. So I just used my table to create the dot plot. Next question. Tanya measured each of her tomato plants in inches. They measured these numbers, and it's ordered from least to greatest already. It says, how many tomato plants does Tanya have? So let's count how many. This first one, there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 tomato plants that are measured. Next question, write a sentence describing what is being measured, including the units. So we have number of students and score as percentage. So you could say the graph shows student scores on a geometry test, and their scores are measured by their percentage. So scores, let's talk about students scores on a geometry test. In percentages. Okay. If it said like how many students scored 100%, then I would say 1 to 3 students. How many students scored like 95% or something, I would say 4 to 6 students. So that's kind of how you read that. Question 10 says identify the outlier in the set of data for question 8. So for question 8, we're over here. Outlier is the number that is a lot bigger or a lot smaller than the other data. So looks like our outlier, it's not 6 because there's another 6. And then about 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 22 is much bigger than the other numbers. So that's an outlier, 22. 11 says, what is the interquartile range for the data? So interquartile range takes quartile 3 minus quartile 1. So first we need to find the middle number. So let's find the middle number, 1, 2, 3. So our quartile 2 is between 7 and 10. Then we need to find quartile 3 and quartile 1. So quartile 1 is the middle number of our first half of our data. So what's the middle number of the first half? So 1 is 7 is our Q1. And then we have to find our middle number of our top half of our data. So our middle number would be 12. That's our Q3. So interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. So I would do 12 minus 7. 12 minus 7 is 5. So our interquartile range is 5. So there's that. If you don't know how to do one of them, go back over it, review what you didn't understand until you understand it. Thanks.